Tweet Dunaway. And Lance, we are live. Auburn has just lost 21-17 to LSU for the second straight week. Auburn jumps out to a nice lead and cannot score in the second half. They scored 3 in the second half last week, or really 3 in the second half plus overtime last week, and nothing in the second half this week. Just a dismal offensive performance in the second half for Auburn. They drop it 21-17 to LSU. Does the Culver's postgame. Welcome to Delicious. Great locations of Culver's, Highway 119 just off of Highway 280, and also Stadium Trace out in Hoover. More to come. And also Next Round Cocktails. He is Lance Taylor. He is Jim Dunaway. Dunaway 21-17. Auburn loses to LSU. The Tigers finish this 5-game home stretch 3-2. That is not ideal based on what's coming up.
It's not, but you're looking at what they're playing with, and I thought the team played better than any of us thought they were going to, right? I mean, they're an 8-point underdog at home. They led 17-0. They had a little bit more. I mean, Robbie Ashford threw for over 300 freaking yards. I mean, who expected that going into this game? Now they end up losing the football game, so it still counts as a loss. I don't know how you judge, Brian Harsin with, he's playing with, it's almost like he's playing with AAA talent in the major leagues, and he somehow keeps these games close lately. Anyway, I don't know how you judge this one tonight, LT. I did not expect it to be this close.
No, I didn't either. I think Auburn fans might be upset because you get that double-digit lead and then you blow that lead and you can't score in the second half. And, when you're -3 in turnovers in this league, I mean, again, it's like the NFL. Like Alabama, if they play Mississippi State, they're -3 in turnovers, they're going to lose that game. Just kind of the way it is. And I agree. If you would have told me Ashford was going to go for over 300 yards, and I thought, for the first half he played good football, I would have thought Auburn wins the football game. But, this is – it's just going to be an interesting season the way this thing goes now.
Well, let's get some comments from Auburn fans real quick. Charlie says, as an Auburn fan, I'm not sure how I'm not a raging alcoholic. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Cheers.
Yes, cheers, though. If so. Yeah, Next Round Cocktails. Next drinknextround.com. Drinknextround.com.
Hey, you know what's funny
you
that
you see them right here and over Dunaway's shoulder.
Our friends from Buzzed have had their biggest day ever. They've only been up and operating for a couple of months now, but it was 2 things. I think it was Auburn fans and Alabama fans stressed out. I mean, that Alabama game, geez. I mean, to be up 28-0, that game was over. It didn't matter that Bryce Young was out of that game. Game was over. And for Alabama's defense to play like that, 23 unanswered from Arkansas was crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard for that defense to play when your offense all of a sudden starts doing nothing, and your punter is snapping it to air, to space. I mean, everything started to go wrong. I thought it was going to go all the way the other direction when it was 28-23 after they reeled off 23 unanswered, and you've got an onside kick where you have 2 guys dropping back before the ball's made contact. Then they get
but which, by the way, was I don't know about you guys. I always think ahead on like fake punts and onside kicks. I never really thought that was a moment for an onside kick. I give Sam Pittman a lot of credit. Caught me off guard.
That's when it works, man. That's when it works. It never works when you're expecting it, man. That's when it works.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Like if I jump out, if I'm standing around the corner to jump out and scare you, if you think I'm there, it's not going to work. But when I catch you when you're not expecting it, that's when it works. And they got those 2 guys for Alabama. I didn't know their names. I'm not sure they still have numbers on. They got them knocked off, but those guys got trucked, plowed right there. They couldn't make a play. Yeah.
So Alabama wins. Auburn loses. Crimson Tide actually covers with a backup quarterback in there, Jalen Milroe. We tweeted out Dunaway the Nick Saban response to the Bryce Young injury. He called it a sprained shoulder, basically called him day-to-day. My gut tells me, and it's just my gut, I have no info on this. Aaron Suttles will be the guy you'll watch for reports on this. My gut tells me you probably don't see him against A&M, maybe see him against Tennessee and Knoxville.
The text I got, whether it's legit or not, I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. They said 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, that'd be 2 weeks. Dunaway, I think you'll see him in Knoxville.
Well, AJ McCarron, Dr. AJ McCarron, he was tweeting instantly afterwards.
Hey, don't let him block you again.
I'm just saying that he's experienced this, and it didn't sound like he missed any action. If he had the same injury, as Bryce did, I couldn't remember and I couldn't tell from AJ's tweets whether it was his throwing shoulder or his non-throwing shoulder, which makes a big difference, I think. So, obviously this is Bryce's throwing shoulder, and AJ had experienced the injury, and you can play through it a little bit if it's your non-throwing shoulder. But 2 to 4 weeks, this is the trickiest part of the schedule right now for Alabama. So if it's 2 weeks, you miss 2 games, we'll say 2 weeks, you miss Texas A&M. I know you guys think that's not tricky, but it's tricky if you don't have Bryce Young.
I disagree. No,
I disagree. I think A&M's horrible. I think
they're not a good
none
team
of us thought it was going to
all.
be tricky tonight for Georgia either, did we?
I think Georgia's bought into the headlines the last couple of weeks. I mean, I saw a different Georgia team altogether 2 weeks ago.
A&M is no good. They're an awful.
Yeah, I think this is the rat poison that Nick Saban talks about.
Yeah,
but
Brown, you say A&M's awful, and I'll give you that. They're a bad football team. But just this past week, we were debating whether Missouri was the worst team in the league, and they're playing number 1 Georgia. That's why I'm saying if you don't have Bryce Young, that offense is different, and nothing's a given at that point. And then going to Tennessee, please.
Jalen Milroe led them to 35 points.
Yeah,
he did.
I wanted to bring that up.
5 points. I mean,
Jalen Milroe.
impressive.
I don't know. I don't know, guys, if he can consistently move the chains throwing the football. Guy's speed is amazing.
35 points on the road in a backup situation where you come in cold. I know his numbers weren't dazzling throwing the football, but I was impressed with what Jalen Milroe did for Alabama.
To me, don't paint me into a corner like I wasn't impressed. I mean, I was impressed as well. But you guys know that there was zero preparation done on that type of Alabama offense and Jalen Milroe. Now you get a week to prepare. I guess you could prepare. That
totally
maybe
different.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different preparation at that point.
Yeah, I had a buddy. He's still here, but he said right after Bryce Young went down, he was like, "No, Barry Odom's not going to be ready for this."
Exactly.
I mean, they didn't prepare at all.
Exactly.
And that 77-yard run, my God, he's fastest guy on the field.
Yeah. All of a sudden, they're running an option play off the edge on a pitch or keep for the quarterback. They haven't done that since Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but to the other side of that, Jalen Milroe also didn't prepare as the starter. So you give him a week to prepare as the starter, and he could play different. I don't know. They've got to let him do more of the offense. There's no doubt about that.
So what did you guys hear about KJ Jefferson?
I didn't hear anything about him other than he probably had just gotten hit one more time than he wanted to. Why?
Okay, no, I'm just wondering if it's anything that could be long-term.
No, I thought it was a concussion. I thought that's why concussion proteals why he ended up.
Hey, I'll tell you, the hardest hit of the day was the official going down in the end
zone. Yeah, that was scary.
Holy shit. How did he not he got hit harder than Tua. Tua gets wheeled to a hospital, and this old man gets right up.
Yeah.
You see the Alabama trainer standing there, and he went. The head official came over. He did the old. No, he doesn't do that. Yeah, it was rough.
Surprised he didn't shit his pants.
NH34225 says, how do you really continue to pump with this if you're Auburn? Too many leads given away. 7 of the last 8 against Power 5. Let me get this stat pulled up, guys. Dunaway, you may know it. 7 of the last 8 against Power 5, Auburn has been outscored in the fourth quarter. They just do not finish games under Brian Harsin.
And they've been horrible in the second half, and those numbers, you can bring that all the way back to halftime, I think, and the numbers don't look good. I guess my expectations going into the game was different than what Auburn fans. You guys went in, I guess, expecting to win the game. I went in expecting LSU to blow you out because you're 8-point underdogs at home at Jordan-Hare Stadium. So I picked Auburn earlier today because it's Jordan-Hare Stadium, and it turned out being a typical Jordan-Hare Stadium game, except Auburn didn't win the game. They had several opportunities to win the game. So that's why I started off saying, how do you judge this? Because I don't feel like he's got a good roster. Is he doing a hell of a job coaching or not?
But who's to blame for his roster?
Gus Malzahn and
some Brian Harsin, most Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, I mean, this is second year though, and again, like elite coaches, and again, I don't think any of us believe that Brian Harsin's an elite coach. Those guys find ways in the second year to make a huge difference. Yeah. And the way this is trending, I mean, to lose that double-digit lead now, you should have lost against Missouri. You lose today against LSU. The really tough part of the schedule is coming up, and I just think this thing is going to be the bottom's going to fall out.
Oh, it's the easiest obituary to write. I'm just saying that it is a bad situation for him to be in. And we talk about it every week. When's he going to get fired? When is he going to get fired? They were up 17-0. We're about to be 2-0 in the SEC and 4-1 on the season with a roster that I'm not sure would win the Sun Belt.
I think he's fired tomorrow.
Beyond
Well,
roster, the 2 4th downs, you're basically 4th and 10, 4th and 15, and your play calls are deep balls hoping for a pass interference. And then I don't know what the 2nd and goal was. You run a halfback pass or really a wide receiver pass on 2nd and goal.
Hey,
come on, man. What are you doing?
You're completely right, though. It's like you're relying on an official to make a call. Like, you can't execute this. When we go deep, we're not going to complete this pass. We're relying on hopefully a pass interference. And that's just – and Brian Harsin's an offensive guy. It makes – I don't know. It's just a bad situation.
You heard Tess mention a couple of times they've got a metrics guy that's full-time on the staff. And, if he's throwing up a 50-50 ball, I don't know what the percentages are. If it's an interception like it was the last time before you got the holding penalty, where they got the first down at that point. So technically it worked that time. But if it had just been intercepted, he intercepted it at the 9-yard line. Now, the thing to do if you're a defender is not to pass, interfere, hold, or intercept it. You knock it down and you get the ball way back out there. But you're hoping that they intercept it or your guy makes the catch or you get a penalty. So there's some positive. I mean, I understand what he's doing. I just didn't understand why you burned a timeout. You may need those later on. He doesn't value timeouts.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. Zach says RTR, Alabama is not an air raid team anymore. I was laughing in the first half when Alabama was throwing it all over the field because Zach in the chat room every week talks about Alabama. Bill O'Brien running the air raid. But man, they look good throwing the football.
But Sean McDonough was right. Sean McDonough and Blackler said on the broadcast, they were like, was that them doing that game? It's been so long and too many bourbons. Gary and them actually made one good point today. They said they're no longer this is not the team Alabama used to be. They're not used to doing this. And it was different for them. And it was different for us to watch for a little bit. And Milroe was fantastic at doing that. He ran it really well, but this is not what Alabama's offense anymore. It was like they were out there having to write left-handed. And if you're a right-handed person, you ever try to write left-handed, you can do it, but you're never comfortable doing it.
All right, more. By the way, it is the postgame show presented by Culver's Postgame. Welcome to Delicious, all your great tailgating, the amazing burgers. I love those Culver's burgers. They got that cheese curd burger in October that it's a limited time burger. Great chicken fingers, $119 and $280 in Tattersall Park. Also Stadium Trace out in Hoover. And Dunaway Next Round Cocktails.
That's right, man. These are
sangria.
Do you have one right now? Are you drinking
one? I'm on a bourbon now, but Maggie had one earlier, and I did two during the day part of the hour.
That is a weird coloration of your bourbon.
It's bourbon and a big ice cube, so it's watered down a little bit. It's Eagle Rare is what we're drinking tonight.
Ooh, fancy!
Next
can't hide money.
So like, I'm hanging out with a dude that is drinking Eagle Rare and another guy that named his car Nigel because it's British.
Rosé Sangria and Salted Lime Margarita. Those are your great, and you see them behind Dunaway as well, great flavors from Next Round Cocktails, drinknextround.com. Let's see. Oh, wow, here we go. Where did it go? It disappeared for a second. David here. I told you guys not to fall for Arkansas and Kentucky. Well, it's a messy Kentucky team. I mean,
what do you mean falling for Kentucky? That was a great football game by two really good teams. Kentucky had every opportunity to win that game. It was Kentucky played well today. I'm not ashamed thinking Kentucky was going to win that game.
I don't know, man. Every time you made the point, and you're right. They spend all that time talking about what a great quarterback Will Levis is, and then Will Levis makes a bad play after bad play.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't. And Mark Stoops did not coach a great game in there. Mark Stoops, I don't know what he was doing, taking that holding call that gave Ole Miss a field goal. That ended up being a huge call. And their special teams were a complete mess. That loss is on Mark Stoops as much as we give him credit. He coached a poor game.
I thought those two teams were almost identical to each other. And that was an exciting game. I enjoyed watching it.
It was exciting, yeah.
If you're a Texans fan and you have a top 5 pick next year and you select him, Will Levis, do you really believe he's going to be a franchise quarterback? Because You know, I watched him against a pretty good Ole Miss defense. Not great, but it's still an SEC defense. And he made so many critical mistakes down the stretch.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're raving about him. The scouts know more than I do. But I would assume Christian Ponder was well thought of by scouts and was a good college quarterback. And you know, there are guys they fall in love with all the time. Yeah, I don't understand it. Maybe if he's got great
can
receivers.
You send little T the link?
Sure.
She's gonna
all right. I can. What were you saying, Dunaway?
I mean, maybe if he has better receivers, he has such a strong arm. Those Kentucky receivers couldn't get to those deep balls. Maybe they see something I don't see, but I would hate it if my team drafted him. And we may need a quarterback, so we may need to draft somebody. I hope it's not Will Levis.
You got Jeff Driscoll. You're fine.
Yeah. Is that who we have back up? No.
Jody says, I wonder if O'Brien had hearing loss after Saban screamed, "Run the effing ball."
Yeah.
That was incredible. After that long run, they get down there and they try to throw it in. You haven't let Milroe throw the whole time, but by God, let's throw it on the goal line. They cut to Saban, and Saban is run the effing ball.
That was a 1 year off your life win for Saban, I think. But, Jahmyr Gibbs, and I brought this up earlier this week, I really thought he would have more opportunities, and he did. And you saw the Jahmyr Gibbs that we thought we would see, for the last month or so. I mean, he was dominant.
Man, he hits a seam and he is gone. And much like Milroe, Matt Berry said it on one of the cut-ins. Leave it to Alabama to replace a quarterback, to bring in a backup quarterback that's built like Derrick Henry.
I'm telling you, Jahmyr Gibbs to me is the black Christian McCaffrey.
He's huge, though, isn't he? They're comparing him to Kamara and Kenyon Drake.
I'm telling you, man, he is Christian McCaffrey. The quickness, the vision, the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. Hopefully for Alabama fans, he's a more durable Christian McCaffrey. But I see a lot of Christian McCaffrey in him.
Hey, don't forget nextround.store, 15% off everything with code October. 15% off your order with code October. Nextround.store. Chris says he said throw the ball. Slant pass was thrown late. I don't think that's what he said, Chris. I think he said run the effing ball. David says Levis is not ready for prime time. Zach says the Heisman is wide open. They're talking about the Heisman there because Stetson Bennett's Heisman campaign died tonight.
It died last week.
It can't
yeah, but he's
die.
not been good tonight. Oh, yeah, it died. Yeah, it's died. That's over.
No, it can't die. It can't die.
How can it not die?
Because it can come back. It can come back.
It's dead.
You guys performances in a row for Stetson Bennett. Really bad.
So who are you giving it to right now?
I don't know, but not Stetson
Hendon Hooker would be in the mix. They're undefeated still.
Yeah.
Michael wants to know, LT, was Dalcourt the injury you were talking about this morning? Dalcourt did not play for Alabama. And by the way, Dalcourt did not play, and Alabama's offensive line might have had their best game.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was a variety of injuries that I talked to the guy before, and
was one of them Bryce? Was one of them Bryce's shoulder? EVH93 wanted to know, was one of it Bryce's shoulder, and they was just re-injured in the game.
Look, I don't know how accurate my sources are, but literally they were on the Bryce Young thing the entire time, and they said 2 to 4 weeks he's going to be out.
Yeah.
So do you guys think if he's out 4 weeks, what games are those? A&M, Tennessee.
A&M, Tennessee, Mississippi State, and a bye week.
Yeah.
So of those 3
Alabama
games,
could drop one. They could drop one of those, yeah.
Or 2.
I think if you're an Alabama fan and you go 2 on one of those games without Bryce, I think you almost take that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think they can win. I think they go 3-0 with Jalen Milroe. I mean, I think they could have lost one with Bryce Young. I don't know.
I've never noticed Milroe and a lot of deep, really diehard Alabama fans talk about how good this guy's going to be, and watching him, just how raw he is and how much better he can be. God, if he had elite receivers, I mean, that guy's the real deal.
Well, you finally had Dunaway Isaiah Bond banking catches. The guy can absolutely motor, and he got behind the defense early, and Bryce Young hit him when he was still in the game.
Yeah.
Isaiah Bond made catches. But, you had Burton open for a touchdown. Milroe badly underthrew that one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. No, the receivers played better today, but they still had some drops at times that you were like, man, if these guys could catch. But they did play better.
Zach says Milroe's about to show A&M they should have recruited him more.
Hey, you
Look,
factor that in a little bit. There's a guy from Katy, Texas that
yeah. I don't know how A&M will score on Alabama. I really don't. That is such a bad offense. Their quarterback play is so abysmal. Just awful quarterback play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. And, it's gotten to the point, guys, where it's 5 years in. I mean, there is zero excuses. You've got NIL money. You can pay whatever you want. He's getting great recruiting classes even before that. And it doesn't translate. And it's such a painful brand of football to watch if you're losing. If you're winning, it's one thing. But if you're losing, it's awful.
Well, they're 2-3, right? They're 2-3. Is that correct?
No.
Texas A&M is 2-3.
No, they've only got 2 losses.
They're 3-2.
Yeah, Appalachian State, Mississippi State. They beat Arkansas.
The Arkansas game.
Yeah, but
was a virtual loss. That's a virtual loss. Yeah.
I
mean, we're the first day of October, and if you're an A&M fan, the expectation was we beat Alabama last year. We've got a better roster this year. This is the year we get to Atlanta, maybe get to a college football playoff, and they're done. They've got no shot.
All right, it is the Culver's postgame show. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. You can join Culver's 119 and 280 in Tattersall Park. Also, Stadium Trace. Next Round Cocktails. DrinkNextRound.com. DrinkNextRound.com. And don't forget the Next Round store. Use code October, and everything is 15% off. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you have subscribed and set your alerts so you always know when we're live. If you're watching us on Twitter, fire off a retweet and give us a thumbs up there as well. If you're watching us on Facebook, give us a thumbs up and share us on Facebook, please. And like us on Twitch as well. It is the Culver's postgame show. Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Can I just get one quick reaction from LT right now? Your mighty Pittsburgh team trailing 19-7 to Georgia Tech at home. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, Keaton Slovis in this new offense without Mark Whipple, it's been bad. I mean, even in they survived last week and won, they just hadn't been good.
Yeah.
And still kind of shocked that they were able to win against West Virginia going back to that game, the position they were in. But obviously West Virginia not a great team right now.
All right, let's get an Auburn update. Taylor Corrin, our director of social media, is going to join us from Jordan Hare. Oh, we just lost her. Little T, you disappeared.
Hey, by the way.
There, she's back. She's back. What's up, Little T? Are you at Jordan Hare still?
Yeah, we're here, Taylor. She looks like she went to one of the dry bars and fluffed her hair.
What are you doing, Taylor?
It is a dry bar. It's not a blow bar, right?
I really don't know, Lance.
I don't know, but I'm interested to find out.
Yeah.
Hey, Brown, I will tell you this, Dunaway. We've got another guest singer tonight on the show whenever you guys want it.
Okay. Let's after Taylor.
Yeah. All right. I think we got Taylor back. We're going to try Taylor one more time here. Taylor, can you hear us now?
I can hear.
Where are you?
I'm pacing the halls of the hotel trying to burn off my anger.
Why are you so pissed?
Auburn football.
Hey, have you ever thought about just giving up and maybe inheriting like Oklahoma State?
No.
So you like misery?
Hey, this is my thing. When you lose, it sucks, but when you win, it's really exciting.
Yeah. Where do you think it all went wrong tonight?
I don't know. I mean, let's go. We're throwing the ball. We're scoring some points. And I felt good. And then I don't know what happened. I think I closed my eyes for a little bit, but I was like, I don't know.
You're breaking that shit down perfectly.
Taylor, it's like you're floating through a hallway. It's so
Yeah, really.
This is like I'm watching Hocus Pocus 2.
I know, Taylor,
yeah, are you on a broom?
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, what up, Charlie?
All right, what's going on, guys?
Hey, they could use your old man. Do you think he gets? Has he got eligibility still?
Charlie Senior still spinning.
I wish you did.
What do you think, Charlie? Where did it go wrong for Auburn tonight?
Turnovers, and I know Robbie Ashford wished he had a couple throws back. He made some good throws, but he missed some easy ones also. So, it just comes down to the second half. We hadn't had a good second half in 2 years.
You think that has anything to do with coaching?
That is real. That is true.
2 years. Yeah.
They've been the best first half team in America.
Yeah.
We hadn't had a good second half in 2 years.
That's not good.
Hey, can we print Charlie? Would you buy a T-shirt if we printed a T-shirt in orange and blue that said "First Half National Champions"?
Yeah. Hey, we win a national championship in the first half. Yeah, it was and it was a tough game. It hurts worse because we had opportunities to win, and that makes it hurt a little worse.
That's what I tell people, Charlie, because I went into this game expecting nothing. I mean, 8 points underdogs at home. I thought LSU was going to win it from the get-go, and to be up 17-0, it almost hurts worse this way than if it had been 42-7.
Exactly. That's what I was telling one of my friends after. I was like, if we got beat by 28, and it's whatever.
I would still be pissed.
Whatever,
no, it's not whatever.
You're my favorite couple.
I know.
Taylor, have you had any cocktails today?
One or two.
Okay.
All right. Taylor Corn, our social media director, and her boyfriend, Charlie Trotman Jr. Thanks, Taylor. Y'all have a good night, okay?
Good night.
Y'all have a good one.
And she was floating through the hotel.
She was until she failed Charlie.
Does she know that doesn't have to be like Twitter? She could talk longer than 120 characters.
I don't know. I think Taylor thought Taylor was going to come with a little more fire. Honestly, Charlie gave us a good breakdown though.
Rice is just beating UAB, by the way. Done.
UAB? Rice came back.
28-24 over.
Bad
The
loss.
games I avoided today.
I don't have it final. Are you certain it's final?
I'm watching it right here. They just shot off fireworks.
That's generally a good sign. McBride had 121 yards and a touchdown, so that's actually not a very good day for him. But that's a tough loss at Rice.
Yep.
Dunaway, I was looking for our benefit because I've been keeping an eye on the game you and I both picked. Coastal beat Georgia Southern 34-30. But that's a dub for us, man. A dub.
Yeah, got inside the number. Yes,
got inside the number. That's a win for me and you. All right, let's get some more reaction here. Dunaway's tweet mocking Brian Kelly when it was 17-0. LSU rode the landmine to 21 unanswered. What did you say about Brian Kelly, Dunaway?
I said it wasn't a prediction of the game. I can see where it'd be taken as a landmine, but I was like, Brian Kelly realizing how rough it is on the road in the SEC, and it's a gif of SpongeBob he's got like 8 arms, and he's like cleaning his windows, mopping his floor, vacuuming his carpet, changing the channel on the TV, cooking dinner all at the same time. It's just chaos in the SEC on the road. It's stuff that went on the road in the SEC. And of course they did reel off 21 unanswered after that.
Justin is sending us, Justin Clayton here on YouTube, sending us some info from Justin Hokanson, our buddy. This is going to be 2 parts here. In the last 8 Power 5 games plus the Houston Bowl game, in the second halves, Auburn's offense has 26 punts, 8 turnovers, and 3 TDs, and is now 12 for 61 on third down, 4 of 29 in the fourth quarter.
Well, you know what this is? It's quarterback play. It really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
I mean, I know everything contributes when you've got questionable receivers and an offensive line, but good quarterbacks make a huge difference.
But as Charlie just said, Auburn hasn't had a good second half in 2 years. He's right. Those numbers back it up. He's absolutely right about that.
Yeah, and when they got that fumble back, and then Tank got that big play, and you thought to yourself, okay, this is it. They're about to score a touchdown and win this thing 24-21. So a tough loss for Auburn. Let's go back to Alabama and Arkansas, because that game is interesting to me, because Arkansas now has 2 losses, right? Texas A&M
back to back,
and then they got that thing back to 28-23, and they got away from them today. I think Sam Pittman is so composed, so good at what he does at Arkansas. Can't imagine them having anyone else, but you got to think that's a little disappointing for Hog fans. They thought this was their year too.
I don't know.
I think
don't think they really expected to win this game. I think it is disappointing they lost last week to A&M. You know, if they still had the one loss, they'd still be in the mix. But I think the way they competed, you know, to be down 28-0, come back, cut it to 28-23, lose your quarterback. I'm still impressed. I think Arkansas is still a really good team.
Dunaway, I thought he pressed all the right buttons. The onside kick came at the perfect time. It was perfectly executed. Where I think he lost the game is you get down there on 1st and goal and you run it 3 straight times. You don't trust KJ Jefferson to try to throw it in the end zone. You run it 3 straight times. You have to settle for 3. Now, that said, if I remember the scenario right, Alabama screwed the punt up right after that, right? They got the ball back and scored a touchdown. But still, you showed you had no confidence in your offense at that point. They go all the way down the field, and then you run it 3 times, and Alabama was keyed on those runs.
Yeah, I mean, they should have been balls to the wall at that point. You're exactly right.
And what do you got to lose at that point, right? You were down 28-0. The fact that you're in the game, I'm with you. You go balls to the wall at that point.
But there were some bad losses today. LT Minnesota, they lost to Purdue. Bad loss there. Bad loss.
Yeah, I thought it could be a close game with, you know, Aiden O'Connell coming back for Purdue. You know, I think. Go ahead.
I was going to say a real quick stat. Before they kicked against Penn State, Northwestern was the sole leader in the NFC West, and they were 1-3. Their only win is Nebraska. They were leading the division.
It reminds me of the old Big 12 North, where you had Kansas State and Iowa State were kind of battling for first place every year, and they were like 6-6.
Yeah,
it's not a good division. And, you know, again, I get a ton wrong, but today I said, you know, one thing you can almost book is Minnesota winning the West.
Yeah. And when I gave you on the morning show O'Connell would play, and I took Purdue in that game, I don't know if I really believed it, but I said it this morning. Disappointing. I won't say bad loss. Disappointing for Florida State. You guys thought Florida State would get that one, right?
No, I picked Wake.
I did. I was completely. It was my biggest play of the day. By the way, today has not been a great day. I've got to check what's going on right now with Nebraska.
Yeah, Dunaway, I had Wake in that one, so I was actually happy with the way that went. I thought that was a very impressive performance by Sam Hartman on the road.
Yeah, it was, and a great win for Wake Forest to bounce back from the loss against a good Clemson team. And then Oklahoma, guys.
Wow.
I asked the question this week, more pressure to get a win after the loss last week, and I thought Brent Venables was the answer, and now he has lost 2 straight, and he's going into the Red River Shootout next week. And if they allow them if Bijan Robinson, I tweeted this out, watching Oklahoma's defense today, their run gap integrity, Bijan could go for 200, 400, 500 yards if they want next week. They don't get that fixed this week.
Yeah, you know, I'm not surprised Oklahoma lost the game the way they lost the game. You know, just 2 weeks ago before the Kansas State game, we had Brock Hewitt on, who knows more football than all 3 of us combined. And he was like, this defense is violent. I don't know how to explain it.
Right.
But they really get after you. And since that moment, I mean, they've been awful. And I'm completely shocked. Not shocked at what Kansas State was able to do last week. Maybe a little bit with Adrian Martinez. Of course, he did it again today. But TCU and Max Duggan, who I'm a fan of, but he's been up and down, he completely slayed that defense today. And it almost seems like Oklahoma's going to start reeling. I was like, they're cooking and they're going to go in the right direction. It's almost like they're going to come back.
What if I use this analogy with Brock next time he's on? He's right. Oklahoma's defense is violent, just like diarrhea, and neither one of them can stop the run.
That's a weird analogy.
Diarrhea is violent. Hey, can we do our song here in a minute?
In a minute. I need to remind everyone it is the Culver's postgame. Culver's Welcome to Delicious. Tattersall Park, 119 and 280. Also Stadium Trace out in Hoover near the Hoover Met. Don't forget those amazing burgers, the great chicken fingers. My little one loves their fries. Culver's Welcome to Delicious. They bring you the postgame. Also, Next Round Cocktails. Dunaway's got them over his right shoulder. DrinkNextRound.com. The Rosé Sangria. Also, the Salsa Lime Margarita. DrinkNextRound.com. They are right over here, too, over my left shoulder. Also, don't forget in the Next Round store, use code October to save 15%. Code October to save 15% at nextround.store. Nextround.store. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and share us and do all those things. Make sure you subscribe as well and set your alerts. If you're watching us on Twitter, hit a retweet. If you're watching us on Facebook, share us and give us a thumbs up. Bobby, who loves to pounce on people's mistakes and point them out very publicly. Brown just had Northwestern leading the NFC West and had Wazoo playing a home game at Corvallis. Bobby goes to a job where nobody watches him and points out his mistakes, so I appreciate him doing it for me. Northwestern was leading the Big Ten West, and Wazoo was playing in Pullman. I hope that helped Bobby's day get better right there.
Brown.
Huh?
He's just
Sorry,
having
what?
fun with you, man.
What'd
I
I
thought
do?
I thought you were making a joke on the NFC West. I just thought you were making an old comparison on the NFC West to the way it used to be when I was a kid, when the NFC West just sucked and you fought to get into the playoffs.
A lot going on. Just trying to do my job here. Let's see. Per Nathan King, that covers Auburn, LSU's quarterbacks 10 of 26, 85 yards. They win. Their quarterback play was very bad. That is no doubt about that.
I mean, that really is like something you would see like with the 7th grade quarterback starting for a JV team. I mean, those numbers are awful. And I just think it shows you where Auburn is right now. I mean, to have a 17-point lead in that atmosphere, and that crowd was, I'll give the crowd a lot of credit. You know, they were ready to roll, and to blow that game is just against an LSU offense. I don't know how you guys feel about it. LSU's like a C offense to me, maybe.
LSU's offense, I mean, that might be kind. Their quarterback play is pretty bad. Texas A&M's quarterback play is pretty bad. You know, I mean, I'm not going to say it's bad, but has Will Rogers been what you guys thought he was going to be?
Well, I mean, keep in mind today, though, they were going against DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator who was at Ole Miss. So he had a couple of bites at the apple as the Ole Miss defensive coordinator.
And by the way, I will say this about Will Rogers. He doesn't have great receivers. He really doesn't. I mean, he's got, you know, Muhammad's coming on. No, Muhammad's, you know, there's a couple of guys that are good, but they're not great.
Here's a great question from David. Has Booty checked out at LSU? Looks like it to me. That guy is a complete non-factor.
He can't check out. He can't check out because he's got no NFL draftability right now. Zero. None. I mean, who wants him right now?
Dunaway, you got to be checked in to check out, right? He's not checked in. Yeah.
To check out, you got to have another place to spend the night, and there's no room at the end for him right now in the National Football League. If he leaves school right now, he would be battling to make the team with the Stallions. No offense to the USFL champions.
Yeah, really. That's your USFL champion Stallions talking about there, Dunaway. Let's see. He should have come to Alabama. Brooks said talking about Boutte.
He wouldn't be on the field if that guy was playing at Alabama. Would not be on the field.
Well, he might be extra motivated.
He wouldn't be on the 8 deep. He wouldn't be on the 8 deep. There's no way he'd be on the field.
You tell me who's dominating right now at wide receiver for Alabama.
But
all of
he would have a much better quarterback throwing him the football. I think he would be a different receiver in Tuscaloosa.
Hey, by the way, how do you guys feel about
them? He's got those teeny tiny whopper hands now. He can't hold on to anything.
Booty?
Yes.
He's got the Prince Charles hands.
No, right now, how do you feel about Bama and Knoxville without Bryce Young?
I've already told you. I thought it was a loss with Bryce Young. That's the toughest game on the schedule from back in August, and it's still the toughest game on the schedule. And if Bryce doesn't play, I don't see how Alabama wins the football game.
Tennessee's defense not very good. I think Milroe's a good quarterback.
Brown, when does Alabama have a chance to lose? And you're just so pro Alabama today. I mean, is Chris Stewart standing behind you?
My God, Dunaway, they're a pretty good team. I don't know if you've noticed, but they're a pretty damn good team.
Are you guys about to do head coach right there?
I mean, why do you want me to pick them to lose? You think they're going to lose to Tennessee?
You know, when I see Gibbs in the open field, I mean, I really would just try to give that guy 20 touches a game. We're going to get you 20. We're going to see what happens because of those 20, it seems like 1 out of 10 he's going to bust. He's that fast. We ready for music?
No. What do you think the point spread is? I know you want to get to this music. What do you think the point spread is? Alabama, Texas A&M. We were asked earlier, LT. Alabama, Texas A&M with Milroe.
Alabama's going to be 19 to 20.
Well, see, that's just it, LT. Tell me if you think this is true. They will not make an official – if they're going with Sprain, they will not make an official announcement on Bryce Young all week long. They will not make an announcement. Yeah.
And I think that number will sit. It will be outside where you can't bet it right now. If I knew if Milroe's going to be the guy, I think it's 19. If Bryce is the guy, it's probably 22. But you're right. It will be questionable all week. They'll probably say game time decision. And I I think it'll be. I don't know how you guys feel, but based on the information I got, it's going to be Milroe.
Milroe will play Texas A&M. I think Bryce Young will play against Tennessee. And I'm not over exaggerating this. I think the game I just watched Alabama play today bears out what I'm about to say. As critical an injury as Bryce Young is, Brian Branch is that critical to that defense. Did you notice how dominant Alabama's defense was until Brian Branch went out? And then Arkansas, that's when they started moving the football.
I did. You've been a Brian Branch supporter for a long time, and you've been right about him. He's a great player. He's a great player. Before we get to the next question or to the music, I don't know which is coming up next in our rundown, but I did see the USC was leading the Oakland Invaders 14-7. And the Invaders had moved it across midfield. I mean, those Arizona's
terrible uniforms. So I'm trying to watch it. Terrible uniforms. I don't know what Arizona State's doing. This is going to be a game. I think Lincoln Riley will try to score 70. I don't think he'll get there, but I think he'll try.
Somebody asked more people at a Thompson game or this USC game. I didn't see the USC crowd. Is it that bad?
I haven't either. But would you pay to go see the Invaders play?
I would not. I would not go pay to see that USC game. Kendall agrees with me. We give up 2 TDs on 3 drives right after Branch left, he said. Bob says after Branch, they moved Kool-Aid to star, which he's never played. And that is the thing. I mean, when Branch leaves, I get it. I'm not blaming anybody, but you got to move some guys around. Malachi Moore comes in. You move some guys around. I will tell you what will not change is Kool-Aid McKinstry returning punts. I don't care how healthy JoJo Earl gets. You're not getting McKinstry out of that role.
Yeah. JoJo got in the end zone, though, today.
He did. No.
And listen, we need to all have hairy balls come Friday. We need to all ask Henry To'oTo'o what a dumbass play that was. We need to ask him.
No, I don't mind asking him.
No, I don't either. I don't mind asking him.
Stupid play. I want to ask him how bad he got chewed out.
I want to know what his penalty is. Oh, I bet he has to run something.
Yeah. For a minute, I did consider the fact if he gets tossed for a targeting, how does that affect our Friday? Because, that thing did go to – they were at least looking at the player. I don't know. Dirty Death says Branch doesn't mean more than Bryce. Not what I said. Thought Bama offense, special teams hurt the defense third quarter. What I said is as important as Branch is Bryce is to offense, Branch is to defense. That's what I said.
Would you guys get off of Brown? Get off Brown's back. Brown's not perfect.
Everything I'm saying. And
have you had a ranch water tonight?
Instead of Topo Chico, it was pineapple juice.
Okay.
Oh, tasty.
It's good. No, that is really good.
Hey, but
you know what I call that?
What do you call it, Dunaway?
The tequila and the pineapple juice. I call that the To'oTo'o.
No, it's a tequila sunrise is what it is.
Is that what that is? Okay. That's what I had.
Which is a really bad movie with Kurt Russell and Mel Gibson and Michelle Pfeiffer.
It is the Culver's postgame presented by Culver's. Welcome to delicious Highway 119 in Tattersall Park, just off Highway 280. Also Stadium Trace out near the Hoover Met. Also Next Round Cocktails, drinknextround.com, drinknextround.com. You see it over Dunaway's right shoulder. You see it right here as well. The Rosé Sangria, the Salted Lime Margarita, drinknextround.com. It's hard to do, Dunaway. Drinknextround.com. Deborah says it's so exciting to watch on punt returns. What a difference maker. He flipped the field that one time. Gave Alabama 7 points. Even though he didn't get in the end zone, he gave them 7 points. I was going to go back to this one because I wanted to bring something up. You got to give me a second to find it. Kristen says maybe if Alabama plays Kansas, she says that on YouTube. Kansas is getting College Game Day next week. They just announced it.
Hey, good for them. This is kind of crazy. I haven't told you guys yet. When I did play-by-play the summer of 1995 in Elkhart, Kansas, a guy named Nathan, who was one of the host family's kids, really cool kid, reached out to me last week, and he's been listening to the next round. And he's like, man, I really, I'm happy for your success. He was like, but if the Jayhawks are 4-0, you guys give them some love. And, after that win today, Iowa State had every opportunity. Their offense is awful. And I'll give Kansas a lot of credit. They typically win these games with offense. They won with defense today.
Yeah. I know we don't keep up with I know we don't keep up with our picks like they do on game day in the mornings, but I think I had Kansas in that one too.
I think you did.
I had Iowa State. I've had an awful day. Actually, I went 3-4 today. So
sorry about the lock, Lance.
I'm going to let you hit this one, Dunaway, because I knew you had some thoughts on it. Kevin says, if Saban loses his hearing or simply blinded by rage post-game halftime interviews. Now, I did not see the post-game. We'll get that in a second, but you're spot on on your observation about the halftime. It was a stupid question.
It was a dumbass question. Let's don't call it stupid. It was a dumbass question. But I mean, we all ask dumbass questions sometimes. My problem wasn't with Jenny Dale. We all asked dumbass questions.
Wait, what was the question though? Because the post game I didn't think was bad, and I thought
she asked it right
a little bit more,
and he gave her a dumbass answer then. But originally at halftime going in, she asked status of Bryce. He says it's a shoulder injury. I don't know the extent of it. Maybe I'll find out when I get in the locker room. Blah, 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 blah. And then she asked, will Milroe be your quarterback in the second half? Which is a dumbass question.
After he's just told you, I don't even know the extent of Bryce's injury.
Well, if Bryce can't play, yes, he will be. And thank you, coach. And he walks off. And my problem was with Nestler and Gary, who had a horrible day in the booth. I'm not a hate Gary and Nestler guy, but maybe I don't listen to him enough because they suck.
Well, Nestler was like when Milroe came in, he was talking about Hornsby, who's Arkansas's backup.
He had screwed up.
He had a bad day, and he was really wanting Alabama to be called for a face mask. He finally got one after asking for it 3 times. But it was a question. You know, they said, well, you know, coach has lost his quarterback. He's going to be short answered there. Well, what else can you say when she asks you, is Milroe going to be your quarterback in the second half? Well, if Bryce can't, all he said was, if Bryce can't play, yeah, he is. That's not a short answer. What else? You can't elaborate on that. Well, you know, there's no other answer. So I thought it was a dumbass. But then she asked it correctly at the end, and then he already had predetermined what he was going to say. But he, as we all are, I am too. I don't hear as well as I used to. And in that stadium setting, you guys don't know how loud it is because the microphones are so directional. So you can hear what Jenny's saying, and the crowd noise and the band doesn't sound as loud. But really, when you're out there, and if you are of my age or Nick Saban's age, sometimes you hear noises away from you, external noises, more than you do the person in front of you. So, yeah, I do think a little bit of that, you know, you really have to talk. But you know, Dabo's a young guy. In the pregame with Holly Rowe today, Holly was basically having to, you know, stick a tongue in his ear for him to hear the questions.
Well, can you hear my external noises back here?
Very loud.
100% of it. Yeah. It's like you have an open mic.
And Jay says we need to get together and help you with your camera setup. We can't even see your mouth. You continue to sink. Can you?
I just thought he was doing his John Mechie.
I'm doing my Mechie here.
I mean, it could not be a worse camera setup for you.
Oh, sorry. I was good this morning, and I was before 9:01. Can we get to our singer?
Sure. Yes, we can get to the singer.
I say we end with the singer.
Another important question. Alabama won, Auburn lost. No surprise either way.
I mean, you're not going to let it go, so let's get to the singer.
Okay, this is Caroline. What are we singing, Caroline?
Oh, we're just doing acapella.
Yeah.
Whoa. What do you think? We got a band? Yeah, we're doing it acapella.
I don't know. I didn't know if there was music.
Who is Caroline first? Introduce Caroline to the audience.
Yeah, please introduce me to the audience.
Okay, yeah.
Couldn't see that coming at all right there.
The FCC right there. Once you get a little nudity, boom, gone.
What do you think that was? Dead battery? Dunaway, what do you think happened there?
I don't know.
Lunsford say dead battery.
It surprised us all. Lunsford hadn't even changed the graphic yet.
Yeah, he will though. Lunsford's on top of it. Hey, it is the Culver's postgame presented by Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. See how quick he did that. Highway 119.
So good.
I know he is. Highway 119 and 280 in Tattersall Park. Get those butter burgers and those great chicken fingers. All that at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Also presented by Next Round Cocktails. DrinkNextRound.com. DrinkNextRound.com. Don't forget to use code October. NextRound.store. 15% off everything at the Next Round store when you use code October at NextRound.store. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up, set your alerts so you know when we're live. Also, retweet us, thumbs us up there, share us on Facebook, give us a thumbs up, and like us on Twitch. All right, let's get ready. What? Do
you have ABC 3340 still on one of your TVs?
I do, yes.
When the news anchor pops back up, just give me a all coded reaction.
LT is back with us. LT, we thought your computer had died.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. No, I charged my computer in between breaks. But yeah, I'm going to bring on. So if you guys, this is like our halftime. We're a little past halftime, but this is the we get some weird things from my basement, right? I'm getting somebody stretching actually to do the voice right now. Like, I'm going to give you guys a.
Okay, who is Valerie?
That's Caroline.
Caroline.
She's the great granddaughter of Bert Hooton.
Really?
The former pitcher for the Cubs and the Dodgers.
I had his baseball card.
Yeah. Well,
It's not true.
That was my granddad.
yep. So I'm going to turn it over. Is this okay? And here we go. This is.
Yep.
It's going to be a song everybody knows, everybody loves. This is Caroline.
All right, Caroline, let's hear it.
I need you to hold this.
Held.
Is this the real life?
Oh, we don't have time for that.
Is this just fantasy?
She's good.
Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy, 'cause I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me.
All right, there's Caroline. Great job, Caroline.
You're welcome.
Did you cut her short?
Caroline.
You did cut her short.
I wanted
That
the whole
song lasts
song.
forever. I'm not going to sit here and listen
I
to her
thought she was
sing.
really good.
Well, she's
I
fine,
didn't
but I'm
do
not
it.
going to sit here and listen to her sing that whole song. Do you know how long that song is? I wouldn't listen to Queen sing that right now.
Yeah, but I mean, you watched Auburn, like Auburn drive after Auburn drive.
Well, that was, you know what that was? That was the Aaron Judge at Matt interruption right there with Caroline. Nice. I hope he gets the home run, but I got stuff to do here.
No, I mean, that's the best singer we've had all season long. C2 has fallen to number 2 in our rankings.
I mean, I thought Caroline was fine, but I mean, I didn't want to hear the whole song. Did you want to hear the whole song, Lance?
I mean, I'm hearing it, so it doesn't really matter.
I wanted to get to the fast part. It was going to be good.
Oh, hey,
No, I thought you did great. Great job.
No.
I thought the backup folks were good too.
Oh, that was me, by the way.
Oh, very good.
Says,
Yeah, I'm a little more talented you think, Dunaway.
No, I've always thought you were talented.
Walk out on that song on an airplane.
Wow.
Oh, nope, not doing that one.
Yeah,
Andrew says, dang, a bit harsh. Dirty Def says, that was good. Drake says, thanks, Brown. Thaddeus gives it a hand clap. So there you go. It's probably 50-50 right there.
Hey, roommate, will you bring me I need a paper towel with a little water on it. I spilled bourbon on my arm.
on your arm?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Paper towel with a little water on it. Please.
Oh, you're whipped.
I am.
Jimmy's about to drop an awkward compliment.
Ooh, drop one.
Oh, I thought she was really good.
Oh,
We
I thought
couldn't-
you were
we-
going to say something about Caroline.
No, yeah, I thought she was really good. We couldn't see her feet though.
Well, she'll show them to you. Like, throw one up. Come here.
What?
Your feet.
No.
Why?
No, that's for my OnlyFans.
That's for OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans.
By the way, just real quick, just show a flash that you've got your feet out, though. She does have her feet out.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's rolling barefoot in your lower club LT?
I will allow somebody like her to roll barefoot.
Okay, I was about to say. I thought that was against the rules. I thought you were Cooper
It
from
is against the
Mad
rules.
Men.
It's against the rules, but only certain people.
ESPN should be fired for cutting in on college football for Aaron Judge. Nobody gives a blink.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it did-
agree, Clay.
We're finally
it
done with that.
It did not work with them. Did not work very well for them because it was a rain delay. Then they went to it. It was a hit by pitch, and then a bunch of walks. It was just a bad day to be trying to do the cut-ins. It was boring.
I mean, we talked about it, and Dunaway, you disagree with me and Brown, but people that want to watch that can find it. And if ESPN wants to do it,
It's on everywhere.
Hell, do it ESPN News. I mean, I just don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah. But what is worse is ESPN was fired by Dish Network today. And a lot of people didn't even get college football because they have Dish Network.
That's sad.
No,
And I
no.
invited people It was like after like a hard snow. I invited people to come to my house to watch the game today.
No, see, it's
That's why I got Caroline here.
We had a couple of people who were dish people that listened to us today, Brown, and they went and got YouTube TV. And those people will never go back. So Dish is just losing people.
You're right, but I mean, look, ESPN's partially to blame for this too. I mean, the provider is the one that always gets the blame done away. But you know how this works. I mean, ESPN's negotiating just like they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dish and Sling were cut off according to Lone Soldier there. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. It's another Saturday night. Culver's postgame show. Welcome to Delicious Culver's, 119, 280, Tattersall Park. Also, right there, Stadium Trace near the Hoover Met. Dunaway also, Next Round Cocktails right there behind you.
That's right.
Nextround.com.
Last weekend we had the margarita one. This week we're hitting the rosé sangria one here in the Dunaway house.
Rosé sangria and salted lime margarita. Don't forget, you can go to nextround.store. Code October gets you 15% off everything in the Next Round store this weekend. Nextround.store. Yes, Lance.
You want to do a fun bet between the three of us? Closest total point USC. I'll go first.
USC scores?
No, so two of the three have got to buy dinner this week at one night. We'll figure it out. Is that fair? Fair. Closest score. What they get, just point.
What USC's total
score
is
what
I'm
asking.
Okay.
I'll go. They're going to go 66 points.
Okay, so with 8:14 to go in the first half, they've got 14 points right now, and the Invaders are being held right there, no flag.
I'm giving you guys a benefit here. I'm going 66.
66. Is it closest without going over or what?
It's just closest. And Dunaway, you're up next.
Okay, I'll go. They'll go 45.
65.
Oh, Brown played it right.
Yeah. Well, he benefited getting there last.
Yeah, he benefited from only having one drink today.
Yeah.
So they got to go 66 or higher for LT to win.
That is right. Yes. And
y'all want Caroline to sing closing time?
Oh, can she do semisonic?
Yeah.
I don't think she knows all the words.
Ask her if she knows any killers.
You know any killers? Mr. Brightside, can you do it?
She had an uncle. That's just the price I pay.
Yes.
Destiny is calling me.
Now let's see those feet.
My evil eye. Not Mr. Brightside.
Oh,
I have a funny
fantastic.
story. I had a guy in high school send me the lyrics to that song and tell me it was a poem he had written me.
That's a bold move.
True story.
So you're saying he ripped it off of a song, not
He sent me the
originally
whole
created it.
If you guys want to come over, we're up all night. So.
I'm gonna hang right here. Georgia Tech has closed out Pittsburgh, though. How about that? 26-21. That's an awful loss for your boy Narduzzi.
No, good for Jeff Collins. No, I'm sorry, he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
Good for Chris Key. Is that his name?
That's a
Brinky,
crazy
Brinky.
situation. I don't know how they lose that game. I mean, that was and you guys watched them. Georgia Tech was tapped out.
Yep. It'd be like USC losing this one tonight.
No, they're not.
hey, streak continues. It got early Boston College with the upset of Louisville. But the biggest one, not that I paid a bit of attention to this game, but I did see how big a point spread win it was.
Hey, it made my big, bro.
UConn, you watched UConn and Fresno?
No. Did Fresno lose?
UConn beat them 19-14. Fresno was favored 23.5.
Oh, my God. Because I was about to bring up the fact that one of my teams is Boston College, and they stole a win. Fresno lost to UConn?
UConn 19-10. Fresno
I don't
was favored
believe
23.5. Well, you can look it up, Chief. 23.5.
Oh, he went chief on you.
19-14. I'm sorry, 19-14. They lost. I asked earlier if we saw the Ryan Day Greg Schiano fight.
I did not.
Argument. I did. Yeah, they got in an argument. There was a fight among the players at midfield. They come out to try to break it up, and they start yelling at each other. So there you go. Oh, yeah, by the way, Desmond Howard's playoff picks take another hit, according to Cornbread. Ready? You have Pittsburgh in there?
No, he had Baylor. Baylor's done.
Yeah, it's 2 losses for Baylor. The whole
They're
Big
done.
12's done. The whole Big 12's done. There will not be a Big 12 team in the playoffs.
Well, they got to have 4, Brown.
I will tell you this. Kansas State and Kansas is going to be an interesting game.
The Sunflower Cup?
Yep. And I really like the Kansas State team. Adrian Martinez, I don't know if you guys watched it today. He's playing like out of his mind, like possessed, chip on shoulder.
I mean, I won our daily fantasy. I would have won it by a lot more if I'd have kept Martinez in the lineup. I pulled him out at the end.
I got whipped today.
Yeah. Sorry I had to beat you guys.
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back with you Monday. Do you think, just quick prediction, do you think we're talking about the interim coach at Auburn Monday or not?
Yes. I think people have been waiting on this loss, and I think there's always a side to it. Last week it would have been Missouri's terrible. You can't lose that game at home, almost a double-digit favorite. I think this week is you're up 17 points at home. How do you lose a game like this? So I think he's done. It's unfortunate for both parties, and I don't know what direction Auburn goes. I don't know who takes this job.
Dunaway?
I do not think they do it. I agree with you, Brown. I don't think you do that before you play Georgia.
I just don't. I think if
I
you
don't
go,
want a mistake, no.
I think if you go Zach Etheridge, Auburn guy, why hand him the Georgia game right out of the chute? But there again, Dunaway. Now, I think Ole Miss looks a lot better than I thought they were going to be this year. But the tricky thing, if you wait to the bye week, if you beat Ole Miss, which I don't think that should matter. If you want to fire him, fire him. Right? I don't care if you beat Ole Miss or not.
Right.
Can I say for the record, too, Ole Miss, Kentucky, fun game to watch. I don't think either one of those teams is very good. Like, for whatever reason, I think, like, Tennessee and Arkansas are better teams than those 2 teams I saw today.
Ole Miss's defense has improved greatly year to year. This Chris Partridge guy probably regrets not wearing a T-shirt today, but he can flat coach. I guess
his
apparently
gut,
a good coach.
It spilled out, like, on the under camera.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like he was wearing, like, jogging shorts and just a pullover.
Yeah, drive by.
What he's got to do is wear an extra long wife beater.
Drive by Blackledge. Blackledge drive by. He said, next week probably wear a T-shirt.
That was a pretty cool shot, though. He and Charlie Weiss Jr., their celebration in the booth. I mean, that was a very meaningful win.
I like it. For whatever reason, I don't love Lane Kiffin. I just don't. But,
why?
Watching, like, you can tell how hard they work to get to that point, and just, the excitement. That was pretty awesome. I thought Ole Miss would cover the game, and apparently they didn't, but I'm totally thrown off, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, sorry.
What's got you so thrown off?
Well, I mean, we've got a singer, like, nonstop.
Klatt just responded to Dunaway on Twitter. Dunaway says, winning SEC road games are so hard. Klatt, oh, geez, super easy in every other conference?
Oh, Klatt.
Oh,
don't get your feelings hurt.
Hey, so I had a buddy, Mondelli, who you guys know from Atlanta, call me today, and he's like, your conference is a joke. And I was like, dude, we won a tough game in Corvallis last week. And when I said it out loud, it just sounded so freaking stupid. I mean, Corvallis is just not an environment, but it is in the Pac-12. So anyway, that's a clap back to Klatt. I love USC. We just scored again. But it's not a tough conference, and there's no tough road games, not even in the Coliseum or the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the Coliseum's not tough. The Rose Bowl's not tough. Stanford's not tough. Arizona State's not tough. Arizona's not tough. Washington can be. I think Washington is. Utah is. Corvallis can be a little bit. Wazoo a little bit.
Can be. It's not walking into an SEC stadium.
No.
Yeah, outside of Vanderbilt, Missouri. I might just go Vanderbilt, Missouri. I think all of them can be intimidating.
Hey, look at Dunaway fighting, clapping back right here.
No, I was just trying to think of something to say.
I wasn't clapping back yet. I was thinking of something to say.
Dunaway, here's
all
your
right.
singer.
Camera shy now. All right, that is the Culver's postgame. Culver's welcome to delicious 119-280 in Tattersall Park, also Stadium Trace 159 next to the Hoover Met. Thank you to Next Round Cocktails as well. DrinkNextRound.com. DrinkNextRound.com. Go shop in the Next Round store if you're an Auburn fan. It'll make you feel better after the loss. If you're a Bama fan, it's a great way to celebrate it. For UAB fan, you feel better too. Nextround.store, code October, 15% off everything in the store when you use code October. Nextround.store, code October. Make sure you've subscribed to us on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, set the alerts, like us on Twitter, share us on Facebook, like us there, like us on Twitch. We will see you 9 o'clock Monday morning. Have a great remainder of your weekend.